Hello everyone, in this video we are going to learn about the fundamentals of nervous system and nervous tissue. Well, this video series is going to be on this topic, and I'm doing it from the book or reading it from the book or explaining it from the book Human Anatomy and Physiology, 7th edition by Elaine in marieb Kadja Hoen or something, I don't know the pronunciations, and Pearson and the publisher is Pearson International Edition. So here begins fundamentals of the nervous system and nervous tissue. Well, first of all, what's the need of the nervous system? Well, to be frank, we are multicellular organisms, right? So somehow the cells must communicate between themselves so that they can coordinate, right? And for that reason there has to be certain mechanisms, and nervous system is one of them. And nervous system is quite fast, not quite really fast, because it has the ability to transmit information or instructions or information at the rate of like 100 meter per second, and it is quite specific too. So that's the point of nervous system. And nervous system can be divided, well, that was it. And yeah, nervous system, we all have one nervous system, right? But for our convenience of studying it, we can divide it into two different groups. First of all, that is the central nervous system, and secondly the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system, or CNS, consists of the brain and the spinal cord. So its work, the work of the central nervous system, is to process the information that is received. Process, or sort of what to say, like and the work of the peripheral nervous system is to carry the information from certain part to certain part. That's it. And the parts of the peripheral nervous system can be classified into, in one way it can be classified into the cranial nerves, which come from the brain, and the spinal nerves, which come from the spinal cord. And in a different sort of classification, peripheral nervous system can be said to consist of two types of two types. So first of all, it's the sensory or the afferent part, or those nerves which carry the information, the information, or which help in sensing, that is carry certain information from some part of the body to the central nervous system. And these are also called afferent nerves or things like those. Afferent, and those, and another one, I said that peripheral nervous system can be divided into two. So first, it's the sensory nervous system, the sensory nerves or the sensory part, and secondly the motor part. The motor part means which is from which carries the information from the central nervous system to the other parts. Well, that is it. And what more? Sensory nervous system, the sensory part of the nervous system can be divided into somatic part and the visceral part. The somatic part is from the body, from different parts of the body, and the visceral is from the visceral organs, involuntary organs, or visceral organs, which work involuntarily without our thinking. And secondly, there's, in case of motor division, they can be divided into two types. First of all, it's the autonomic nervous system, and secondly the somatic nervous system. In case of somatic nervous system, the information is carried to to the skeletal muscles and sort of area, which can be controlled voluntarily, and it is also called voluntary nervous system. And the autonomic nervous system, it is what carries information to the sort of to the visceral parts, and to the visceral organs and all sort of areas. So it is also called involuntary. It controls things like heartbeat and all that. And it is also divided into two parts, that is sympathetic division and the parasympathetic. We're going to learn about all these in a short time. So first of all, let me recap once again. So first of all, the nervous system is going to be divided into two types. That's the central nervous system, the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system consists of the brain and the spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system consists of the sensory part and the motor part. And sensory part is also called afferent, and the motor part is also called efferent. And afferent and efferent can be remembered by this way, that A comes first. So first is the name of the sensory ones, and the efferent E comes later, and it's the name of the motor. And similarly, the sensory nervous system can be divided into two. First of all, when it is coming from the body, from different parts of the body, it's called somatic. And when it's coming from certain visceral organs, then it's called visceral. And when in case of motor parts of the nervous system, it can be divided into two. That is the voluntary control and the involuntary control. And voluntary control is also known as the somatic part, and the involuntary control is also known as autonomic nervous system. And autonomic nervous system can be divided into two. That is the parasympathetic and sympathetic. Well, that was it. And what more had I been saying? Well, the histology of the nervous system. Well, the nervous system contains two types of cells. First of all is the neurons, which are the famous ones you have studied since your childhood. And secondly, there's another one, that's the supporting cells. And these supporting cells, what do? They sort of support, they surround the neurons, right? And they have certain important functions in the nervous system, which I'm going to come later. But first of all, what are these? What are the types of, or certain examples of these supporting cells? Well, these supporting cells are also called neuroglia or glial cells. Can you see the spelling? Neuroglia. These are the supporting cells. Neuroglia or glial cells. Now, in our brain, in total, in our nervous system, there are 6 sort of neuroglia or glial cells or supporting cells have been found, and among them 4 are found in the central nervous system and 2 are found in the peripheral nervous system. And let me go to the next page. Well, these are the images of them. Well, first of all, in the central nervous system, the 4 types of the glial cells or neuroglial cells found are, first of all, astrocytes, and secondly it's microglia, then it is ependymal cells, and then it's oligodendrocytes. Well, astrocyte, to come to these, what are the functions of these astrocytes? Well, they connect these neurons with the vessels, blood vessels. So these helps in the exchange of materials between the neurons and the blood vessels. And secondly, let me remember, I forgot. And these, there's mosquitoes, a lot of mosquitoes. Well, where was I? Well, yes, they help in exchange of the different materials between the blood vessels and the neurons. And what do they do? And they actually direct the neurons while they're forming. They direct the them to the synapse junction or synaptic to the synaptic junction. While they result in the formation of the synapses while the nervous system is being developed. Okay, and they have more functions. For example, they actually even control the environment of the neurons, and also they also help in and in recent, according to this book, in recent studies, well, let me at first check out the year of this book, because recent actually may not be recent to our times. Well, the copyright of the book is 2007. Well, not that recent though. Well, leave it. According to this book, according to the recent research of this book, according to the time of this book or whatever else, these also have some function they sort of influence the neural functioning, and thus they